The defeat of the British at Yorktown brought the nation not only a great victory, but even more challenges as our young nation grew. Lewis and Clark's expedition into the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 and war with Mexico in 1847. The ongoing debate over states' rights and slavery divided the country, and brother faced off against brother in a bitter 4-year civil war.
Here's the 100 years of American history I know nothing about.
Came on a spring day in Appomattox, Virginia, when the two armies met to end the fighting and begin binding up the nation's wounds. This new birth of freedom would usher in the industrial age and spur on the western settlement. The cavalry boots of the Buffalo Soldiers walked the picket lines on lonely outposts of the American West. They built roads, strung wire, mapped the land, and provided security for the onrushing settlers.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Take care of his widow and his orphan, right?
As the new century began, Army boots had left our shores. We went to France to fight in the war to end all wars. The world now knew that America and our Army would go to the aid of others in the cause of freedom.
I got a good flag shot.
Unfortunately, it was not the war to end all wars, as economic depression spread around the world. Then on December 7th, 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Live in infamy. The full resources of this nation responded, and the boots of 16 million men and women went on the ground around the world. This call to duty would bring an end to the largest war in the history of the world. America was also maturing socially. Women became active duty components of the services. African-American fighter pilots known as the Tuskegee Airmen and the 442nd Regimental Combat Team comprised of Japanese Americans added many valorous pages to our military history. The world entered into the nuclear age as man created weapons of mass destruction, and the world became polarized between the forces of democracy and the menace of communism. The first test came in a faraway land. The Army, as part of the United Nations fighting force, put its boots on the snowy hills of Korea. Heartbreak Ridge, Pork Chop Hill, and Chosin Reservoir became familiar names. The Korean War ended after 3 years of hard and intense combat, but to this day, American soldiers still stand on those hills, guarding in the name of freedom. In Vietnam, another call came. The Army went into those steaming jungles in the name of freedom. The NCOs and soldiers who served in Vietnam did so with distinction and honor. Because of their sacrifice and experience, many lessons learned are still used today as they set the groundwork for today's Army. The end of the draft marked a significant period of change in our Army. We shifted from a conscripted force to an all-volunteer force. Our non-commissioned officers found no one is more professional than I. This volunteer Army answered our nation's calls again in Grenada and Panama, rescuing thousands from the fist of brutality. The fall of the Berlin Wall marked our victory in the Cold War. New threats emerged in both the Middle East and Europe. In Desert Storm, our Army used only 100 hours to liberate Kuwait from the occupying Iraqi forces of Saddam Hussein. In Europe, the Army intervened to protect innocents caught in the violence in Yugoslavia, Bosnia, and Kosovo. And on September 11, 2001, war came to America as Al-Qaeda terrorists attacked the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Along with first responders, your Army reacted quickly to help save lives. Following these challenging attacks, your Army took the fight to the enemy, defeating the aggressive Taliban in Afghanistan and toppling a dictator in Iraq in a devastating attack on Baghdad. Even now, our Army continues to pursue and defeat these threats. Our Army, led by a tremendous NCO Corps, remains at the point of the spear, keeping America and our freedom safe for this generation and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, the call to duty has come once again. All components of our Army, active, reserve, and national
duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Values that will continue to inspire soldiers, for the next 234 years.
My name is Sergeant Robert Smith from Jamestown, New York. I have been a Nazi.
I know.
You're losing your battery.
I know. It's a shame.
Honor Guard Company is led by First Sergeant Noah Edney from Boise, Idaho.
Awesome. All those kids from Vancouver, Washington are like, yeah!
Alpha Company is led by First Sergeant John Fader from Boston, Massachusetts. The Continental Color Guard is led by Sergeant Nicholas Bogert from Brown City, Michigan. The Commander-in-Chief Guard is led by Staff Sergeant Jason Schmo from Paxton, Illinois.
Adorable.
Passing before you now are the 56th State and Territorial flags which represent America, led by Sergeant First Class Andrew Gregory. They are Delaware, the first state.